Hello, 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 hello. How is everybody? How is nobody's? Good, good. Here we go. Get my eyeballs off so I can squint the whole time. But I look marvelous. Yes, I do. Everybody hear me? Yeah, let's get over here where it says comments. So if nobody can hear me, I'll at least be able to see. I got the mic on this time. And that little meter, where'd that little meter go? This website, that website. Where'd it go? Yeah, that one. Shows it's bouncing all around. Anyway, how is everybody? Welcome to Thursday. Woohoo! I'm off. Well, kinda. I'm on call till tomorrow night, but I don't have to get up. Hi, Jen. I'm glad you can hear me. I don't have to get up and go to work tomorrow, maybe. Might have to at 2 o'clock in the morning, but hey, who knows? Maybe not. I've had really good luck, and I've probably just shot myself in the foot by saying that. Yeah, whatever. So, the title, Show 15. Woohoo! I've been doing 2 a week. What's that, about 7.5 weeks? So, thanks for everybody that's watched and is going to watch and has watched and maybe will continue to watch. And if you're watching this after it's live, then like the video, because now it's a stream and it will be a video. Like it. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel and then leave me a comment. How bad you like it, how bad you hate it. Maybe it's how bad you like it, how good you hate it. That'll be interesting. But YouTube likes that kind of stuff. It makes me feel good too. So, this is about a little man who struggles every day and sometimes goes, what the heck is that crap about? Why? Why does it? Just help me understand why this is. Why does that have to be like that? So, I haven't really ranted or raved or done anything like that on the channel. Yeah, because I get my blood up. And I might try to show this. I know last time that one time I did song lyrics, people really couldn't hear what was going on. And I'm working on maybe changing some of that. But even though I did song lyrics, I didn't really get into any huge trouble with YouTube about playing those song snippets. I did learn that video, I guess the whole thing, cannot be viewed in Russia now because I use some of those song snippets. I don't know. That's one of those things. Help me understand. I mean, why are they more uptight about song being played than the United States? So YouTube sent me a thing saying, hey, Russians may not be able to see this. And people may say, well, what do you care? Well, come to find out, there are a certain number of Russians and people from India, I think, according to YouTube, that's where they're from, and they watch this video or these videos or my channel or something. But anyway, so if anybody's ever watched Seinfeld, which I hope you have, George Costanza's father, Frank, I think's his name, he went through this phase on a couple of the shows where he had a saying that he would say whenever he got riled up. And riled up means, he got frustrated or upset about something. So I remember all these things. And so when things get me riled up, help me understand Also, I started to name it Serenity Now. So we'll see if we can get this on here. I'm just going to show it. And I know I'm hoping this, I've got it set up on speakers, so it may echo or be kind of hollow, but I turned the speakers on, and because just to see if you can hear it. I'm going to share screen. I'm going to share me on YouTube right now. Look at that. Me on YouTube. But we're going to go over here. Now this is, I don't know if you can see it. Is it on full screen? That's on full screen. Now this is from, get off of here, go back, the Seinfeld YouTube channel. It's got 86,000 subscribers. So I found this one. It wasn't hard to find. Serenity Now. Let's see. I just want you to know, sometimes this is the way I feel when I find out these things and I try to wrap my brain around them. Can y'all hear that?
Back here. Move your seat forward.
It's as far as it goes.
There's a mechanism. You just pull it and throw your body weight.
I pulled it. It doesn't go.
You want the leg room? Say you want the leg room. Don't blame the mechanism.
All right, Dad, we're 5 blocks from the house. Sit sideways.
Like an animal. Because of her, I have to sit here like an animal. Serenity now! Serenity now!
What is that?
When my blood pressure gets too high, the man on the tape tells me to say, Serenity now!
Are you supposed to yell it?
The man on the tape wasn't specific.
What happened to the screen door? It blew off again?
I told you to fix that thing.
Serenity now!
So
Brazier.
stop. There we go. Oh, golly. They may be coming, knocking on the door to get me. But I just had that's the way I feel sometimes. Oh my gosh. And what started all this was, of course, crazy things. My mother lives in a condo and it's brand new. She's lived there a year or two. Anyway, when she had it and it was being built, she wanted a gas fireplace with logs. And it took anyway, long story. It took forever to get the fireplace. It was an old fireplace. She had to get down and turn the gas on and behind it and light the pilot light manually and all this stuff. She didn't want it. So a couple of weeks ago, she found a guy, works with Marsh Gas sometimes. Anyway, he came, ordered her a new one, put it in, and she has one of these tanks that's buried in the ground. So, you know, little thing out in the middle of the yard, and the tank and lines run into the house, into the fireplace. And I went over there, and I walk in, and I smell propane. And I said, oh my gosh, I smell propane. And she goes, well, no, there's no propane. I said, yeah, it stinks in here. It smells like propane. So anyway, she says, no, the guy says that's the way it smells when the logs are new, the fireplace is new. And I said, is it running? She goes, well, I got the pilot light on. Sure enough, the pilot light was on, but the house just reeked. And so I was talking to her, and I said, man, let's open the doors. We opened the doors, did all this stuff. So I thought, you know, this isn't safe. My wife's home and the dogs are going bonkers. But anyway. So I started to try to find a liquid propane LP gas detector. And I have never had to have one before. And in her house, it's brand new, you know, a couple of years old. I say brand new, a couple of years old. But anyway, it's got smoke detectors, and it's got carbon monoxide detectors, and they all beep and buzz, and you got to place the stupid batteries in them like everything else. But that doesn't tell you if there's a propane leak. Now that, you know, so I start hunting around thinking, well, sure. I mean, you know, I've got one in my camper, right? It's right there. You got to replace them every 5 years, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm just going to get one, put it in her house so that until we find out what's going on with this fireplace, that, we'll have some kind of warning. No. It's just not that simple. In my mind, it would be simple. You just go, why not Lowe's, and buy one. Lowe's sells 100-pound or 100-gallon, I can't remember, 20-pound tank, 100-pound tank. The big ones that sit out, and a lot of people have them to burn their, gas logs. They sell those things. And they sell ventless heaters, propane heaters, and I'm sure you can get the ventless fireplaces and all that stuff through Lowe's. They sold one detector. And it didn't even say. You had to read the fine print. I'm going to show it to you. We'll share screen again. We're going to share, let's see, what screen? What screen am I on? Let me figure it out. Shh, be quiet. Hold on. I think it's this one. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Let's see, where did it go? Is it that one? Wait a minute. Wow. Oh, you see the StreamYard and everything on that. That's crazy. I can't do that. Can I put that over somewhere? Well, I can't show it because it's in this thing. That's the system. Let me get there. I'm sharing that one, am I not? Stop. Okay, let me try that again. I'm going to share screen. I'm going to share the screen. I want to share this screen that I'm on. But now if I do that, do you all see the Lowe's ad? Okay. Clell's on there, says 100-pound tank. Okay. Do y'all see the ad? Because if I switch it back over to my software, my streaming software, it just wigs out. Can somebody type, maybe say something? I don't know. Because now I don't know if you're seeing it or not. Hold on, let me mute this thing for just a minute. Somebody type me whether you can see. Okay. They're kind of quiet now. She's home. Anyway, this one, the first alert, plug-in carbon monoxide detector. All right, so it's not battery powered, which I would think smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, everything uses a stupid 9-volt battery. And I was thinking that'd be about the same. No, not. Anyway, so you look at it, $64. And you click on this thing. And if your internet is anything like mine, you just wait. Maybe it's because I'm streaming. Let's see. Add to cart 4 items. No, I don't want to add to cart 4 items. Anyway, first alert, combination explosive gas and carbon monoxide alarm with backlit digital display. So this thing picks up propane, methane, all kinds of combustible gases, and carbon monoxide. Well, it's a new home. There it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a big picture of it. It's a new home. She's got carbon monoxide. She's got smoke. She doesn't need all that. But it's the only way you can buy it, through Lowe's. And you plug it into the wall, which I guess is okay. And then we did find one on Amazon that was $22. Now the thing, that I found neat, Amazon drives me bonkers too. You search for LP gas detectors, and the next thing you know, you're getting, smokers and, wood chips and stuff to put in your smoker. It's stupid. But this one, I hope you can see that. At least in this picture, it tells you how far away. Down here at the bottom, liquid propane gas is heavier than air, so it always goes to the bottom of wherever the container is. In this room, in this instance, the container's the house. So it always goes. It says 30 centimeters from the floor. I don't know what that is in American, but it's 30 centimeters from the floor. So anyway, drove me nuts. Trying to just figure out if I could get, and I can't. So we're going to have to order one from Amazon. And so she called to do today about having the thing checked. And now the pilot light won't come on and the logs don't burn. And I swear she's out of propane. I guarantee you somewhere, hopefully outside the house, but still, I mean, if it's a 250-gallon tank they buried into the ground, I bet the stupid thing's empty. And she hasn't had gas logs hooked to that thing for a month. I mean, it's just terrible. Anyway. Serenity now. Help me understand. I just can't figure it out. But that's the way it just gets to me sometimes. I want to, Craig hears it. I just like come in and go, holy cow, you're not going to believe this. But anybody that's ever dealt with, and it's kind of swapping gears, it's a little bit of not the same thing, but the effect's the same. If you ever dealt with any kind of contractor or service help trying to get somebody to hang doors, it blows my mind. I've trying for months and thought to get somebody to come out and give me quotes on doing stuff around the house. I got a porch that needs work. Thinking about pouring a concrete slab to maybe have a building on. And they come once, you talk to them, they never call you back. It's just anybody that's had to deal with that. I wished I was in a position where I had I guess a business. I mean, a lot of these people own their own businesses. They are the guys that come out and say, yeah, I can do that. It's going to cost you blah, blah, blah. Or I'll write you up one and send it to you. Well, they never send it to you. But I wished I had a business where I could just blow off potential customers like, nah, I don't care. That's too much trouble for the money I'm going to make. It just blows my mind that that you can't get people even. I mean, I've had guys, let's come out and do estimates, and they send them to you in an email, and you look them over, and you think, hey, that's pretty good. But, you send them back, what about this, or, what about that? And, they'll send you an email, oh, yeah, well, okay, this is that. Let me check on this, and, I'll get back to you. 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, you email them, hey, did you ever get that figured out? What'd you find out? Nothing. Crickets. They just forget about you. You're too much trouble. It's too much work. I don't know. I just wished I had a business where you could just like, not today. I don't feel like it today. Has anybody else had any experiences with that? You ever had anything to try to get done and then, the guys never get back to you? You never hear anything from them? Now, it's worse when you get them and they do half the job and then they never come back. So, I guess you can see the bright side on some of this is, so Clell, saturated market, too much work available out there. They can be picky. Then why even, I guess a lot of it is why even say that you'll come? Why not just say, yo, man, I'd like to come out and look at your porch and maybe do some work for you, but I am covered up for the next 2 months, 3 months, And somebody told me one time, if they're easy to get, they're not worth having. And, I guess that's right in a way. It still just blows my mind that you could have, there's so much work, not enough people, and I guess is that the problem, that there's not enough of that type of worker, those type of professionals, or is there so many of those type of people? And I'm just going to use concrete workers because my porch is concrete. I was thinking about having a building built, putting a slab out there. Are there so many Jake Leg, half, Looney Tunes concrete workers out there that, the good ones are really overrun, right, with jobs because, there's some bad ones out there. And when somebody says, hey, do you know a concrete man? And they say, yeah, call Robert. And you call Robert, and Robert says, hey, you know what? I'm just swamped. Maybe Robert does a really good job. I mean, you call somebody else, you might call Hank, and Hank says, well, yeah, I can be there in 5 days, Come to find out, Hank mixes his own concrete in the back of his pickup truck, and, he's just kind of a Jake Leg dude. I guess that's what they're saying is, if they're worth anything, you can't get them to come. And the ones that you can, aren't worth having. I mean, that's kind of a bad way to judge it, but I guess there's something to that. So, yeah. Same kind of deal. Even people that run a garage. I've suffered some pretty significant water damage to a camper I've had for years and never even knew it until the stupid floor started crumbling. And I took it down here to A&L RV, and I had an appointment for them to have their body guy. There's only one guy that did their body work. I guess interior work, construction, framing. And campers are different, similar to a home, but still different because everything's lightweight. But anyway, I had an appointment. I took it down there 6 weeks. I'm telling you, 6 weeks went by. They had my camper down there 6 weeks. And finally, they wouldn't return my calls. Every time you call down there and ask for service, hey, you're going to have service call you back because there's nobody's answering their page. And I went and got it. I said, I don't know what y'all are doing, but I went down and got it. And they hadn't done anything. They hadn't done anything in the camper. It was exactly the way I dropped it off. After 6 weeks of sitting down there, they did nothing. They did nothing to it. And my insurance company sent a guy by there within 2 weeks or something like that. He took pictures of it inside and out, please, inside the camper and outside the camper. He was in it. They took him up in a lift, and he took pictures. I saw the pictures. This guy from the insurance company took pictures of the top of the camper. And they had an estimate done. I didn't know how this worked either. They hired this company, Daytime. I can't remember the name of it. But they hired them specifically just to go. They sent them an email, I guess, and said, I want pictures of XYZ, blah, 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 inside, outside, all around the camper, all this other stuff. This company sent a guy, an independent contractor. He went down there, got access to my camper, took all the pictures, sent them in back to the company. The insurance company has their own appraisers. They look at the pictures, and they tell you how much it's going to cost to fix it. That all took place, and A&L Campers didn't even know, the guy, the service writer I was working with, he didn't even know that somebody had been there from my insurance company and looked at the stupid camper. They had no clue. No clue. I said, do you realize that somebody has been there and looked at my camper? No, nobody's been here. No, nobody contacted me. Nobody contacted the body work man. No, nobody's been here. They didn't know. They had no idea that he'd been there. In 6 weeks they kept it and didn't even touch it. I guarantee you they didn't even hardly look at the inside of it. It was, I couldn't talk with the service manager. The time I tried to talk with the general manager, oh, well, he's in a meeting. Couldn't talk to him. Nope. So, anyway. Serenity now. Serenity now. But, now it's sitting outside, and the guy that I had an independent guy come and look at it, and he told me, just kind of eyeballing it, yeah, it might do this, it might do that. So when I got it back from A&L, I tore it up. I tore the floor up, tore the back of it out, looked at it, got it back to where the rotted floor was gone and you could see solid wood. My wife calls the guy back and says, hey, my husband's took the floor up and you can come and look at it, get a really better idea. Now you can see what's going on. 2 weeks had gone by. He never called. She called him and said, hey, are you still interested in doing this? Yeah, I'm still interested, but somebody stole my trailer. He had a trailer. He did a lot of work out of his trailer. Somebody stole my trailer, and I'm trying to get my tools back. And that was 2 weeks. So basically about 4 weeks, and he still hadn't got in touch with us. And if I needed money to buy tools to work on, to do a job, I'll come work on it with a sawzall and nailing hammers, but I don't know. Anyway, so let me guess, $250 to $500 for an estimate only. No, they didn't charge me to do the estimate. That was the only thing. I'd have probably gone down there and ripped somebody's eyeballs out if they'd have tried to charge me, because and maybe that's why they don't feel bad. The guy, when I picked it up, the service writer goes, well, how's that Tennessee game going? I had to go pick it up on a Saturday, and he wants to know, hey, what do you think about that Tennessee game? We were listening to it over at the shop. I thought, dude, you can't even say you're sorry that, you kept my camper for 6 weeks and didn't even touch it. You can't even say, hey, they're really doing me wrong. They're doing the service wrong. Only thing they could say was, well, we're expanding and we're building a new business, and we're building a new building, and it's really going to help us out. And we've been just tied up, covered up, and all that stuff. Anyway. So yeah, I was lucky. I mean, I wasn't lucky. They didn't charge me for anything, I bet they stored it for 6 weeks. That was basically what they did. They stored it for 6 weeks. So anyway, it wasn't very uplifting. This stream wasn't very uplifting. But, that's what you get. And you don't come on and have somebody for me to talk to, and you get to hear me ramble. So they charged your sister just to estimate the work, and no guarantee. Well, I don't know. If they'd have gone through it and did what they said they wanted to do and gave me an estimate and said, here's what's wrong, maybe it would have been worth some money to at least, but I ended up having to do it myself. They were supposed to do a partial teardown. And that's what I ended up doing, was a partial teardown. And just so anybody knows, anybody's got a camper and you've got insurance, all right? We went through Good Sam's. I could say good and bad things about this, but just be aware, okay? Let's say something happened like happened to me. A water leak inside the camper floods the whole camper. You come back after an 8-hour day of being out enjoying your vacation and water's running out from underneath the camper, the floor. Here's what you do. You stop it. You get rid of the water the best you can, and you immediately call your insurance agent and say, hey, you know what just happened? My water line broke, or my sink didn't shut off, or my gray water backed up, or whatever happened, and said, now my camper's flooded. And supposedly, what they'll do is they'll say, oh, I'm glad you called. Here's what we'll do for you. When you get done with your vacation, you take it, and we'll help pay for the, what do they call that? The drying out, the spotless, if your home and car gets wet, you'll want us to dry it for you, those guys. Anyway, that's what they told me. Because I swore, I said, it wasn't an impact, it wasn't an accident, it wasn't a crash, it wasn't a meteor, nothing. And because it wasn't any of those things, and I didn't call immediately when this leak occurred, and it occurred several years ago, and I thought it would be okay, but it wasn't. They won't cover it. Just won't cover it. So, if you've got a camper, something happens, I don't care what it is, call the insurance agent right then, company, and say, this is what happened, I want this on record, file a claim with them, whatever, because otherwise, that manager that I ended up finally talking to at the insurance company said, if you would have done X, part of the policy is for you to tell us, the insurance company, when something bad happens, and we'll try to fix it or remedy it then, and then if something happens 2 years down the road, we knew you took proper steps to help stop it, but it still happened, and we will cover those kind of things. So anyway, needless to say, I think we're changing insurance agents. I might buy parts at A&L, but I don't think I'd ever take anything down there to get worked on ever again. I'd had work done there. My mom had work done there. Anyway, I guess the older gentleman that says, let's go camping, Pops, he's dead. Somebody else has taken the thing over. Now they've got 5 locations, and I think it's just one of those instances where they've grown too big for their britches, and they don't have good people to run anything, and it's just a whirlwind. But anyway, that was that story on another instance of, God, just help me understand. Why do you do that? Don't take my camper in if you know you're in the middle of a redo and you're not going to be able to look at it. It's just say, hey, we can't do it, instead of ticking me off and having me tell 3 or 4 people on the internet, don't go to A&L if you've got body damage, because they'll never look at your camper. So, but anyway, all right. Hey, it's 33 minutes. I've been trying to do better on this time limit thing. So I appreciate y'all tuning in and listening to me whine, bitch, and moan about these things. And so maybe, hopefully, you've learned something. If you didn't know it already, you should have told me first, but you didn't. So I had to learn it the hard way. The LP gas detector thing just kind of blew my mind. And in the camper, it's a 12 volt. So in my mind, smoke detectors, all that stuff is like the little 9 volt. But in a camper, it's hardwired into the camper. Apparently, a lot of them, the reason they're 12 volt is because the LP detector, and some of them are attached to a solenoid, a valve. So if the alarm goes off, it shuts the valve off, and it's supposed to shut the LP off to the camper. That's one of the things, and that's the reason they're 12 volt. And then, of course, the ones you have in your home, you plug them into an outlet. And I guess, okay, an outlet is close to the floor most of the time, depending on your codes, when the house was built and all that kind of stuff. And, LP is lower, heavier than air, so it's always in a low spot. So try to remember that too. Outside, you start smelling propane, get out of the low areas, because it'll settle in depressions in the yard, it'll settle in basements, it'll settle in all kinds of places, and it doesn't take anything to set it off. And that's that house on the Bristol, Virginia side that blew up. They were attributing that to, I guess, LP or natural gas. But anyway, so I appreciate you guys and gals coming around and watching, and I hope maybe it helped you learn something. If not, at least maybe you could say, yeah, I can relate to that, and I'm glad other people are going through the same crap, because I thought I was the only one. So you're not alone. Yeah, everybody goes through that junk. So anyway, I appreciate it, and tell your friends and enemies, everybody, about the channel. I try to like to get more people coming in, and I would like to try to have people get on and you know, split screen and talk to me and talk to everybody else that's sitting around on Thursdays and Monday nights about 9 o'clock. So thank y'all. You can send me an email, make your phalanges dance, and these are your phalanges. The scientific name for, I guess, all your fingers and toes. No, just your fingers. Toes are probably a different name, but this is the only one I know. Say goodnight, John Boy. Dancing phalanges.